Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. Now, you know what? This is the week of. We got about what we got? 3
3 days.
days.
3 days.
3 days. If you're in Montgomery, Alabama, near Montgomery, Alabama, can get there in a car, scooter, tricycle, bicycle, plane, train, or automobile. Get
Automobile.
there. Preferably an automobile. Come to Montgomery Book Fest and Writing Expo. It's going to be March 1st, 2025. Ooh, we still thriving in 2025 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right there at the Armory. I don't never remember the address. What's the address, Renee?
1018 Madison Avenue.
1018 Madison Avenue, Montgomery, Alabama. I can see it. Go get your the farmers market next door,
Right
and
next
then
door.
come on over here and support authors and artists. So you know who I am, and I'm gonna introduce these. I want these two ladies to introduce themselves. I'm not introducing them. They need to introduce themselves, tell us where they're from, and tell us where we can find them on social media and their website. Dr. Nettles, you start, and then we'll go with Chrissy.
Well, good evening, Doc. How are you?
Ooh, green gold. Green
you
means go.
you
Yeah,
locked and loaded.
green means go. I'm almost packed my car, but that's in the morning. I'm almost ready to go. Lord have mercy, Father.
Mercy. I am Dr. Vernette Nettles. I am originally from Mobile. I have lived in Montgomery, I believe, since 2004. And so they tell me I'm from Montgomery now. So we'll take it. But you can find me at www.vernettcnettles.com or www.vcndailypray.com. I am a retired educator, author, consultant, writing coach. If those are the services that you need, I have 20 books. I love children's books. I'm trying to get into that. I have books of faith and one book of poetry, and am striving to move forward.
Oh, you're gonna do it. We don't have
You got
no
this.
doubt about it.
I
No
got
doubt
this.
about it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Chrissy said before we went live, we're gonna need Jesus, we're gonna need a therapist, we're gonna need a pastor. Woo! We gonna need it all, especially in this literary services space. Okay, that's for another time. Anyway, Chrissy, go ahead and introduce yourself, love.
Hi, I am Chrissy Ann Leonard. I hail from Columbus, Ohio, but I'm vacationing. Not really. I'm down here working in Florida. It'd be nice if the weather would cooperate for vacationing, but it isn't. You can find me on my website, www.chrissyleonard.com. And Chrissy is CRISSIE. And if I had $1 for every time someone misspelled my name, I would be a gazillionaire by now.
Yes, you would.
Yes, you would.
Yes, it's CRISSIE. You can find me on Facebook, Chrissy Ann Leonard, Instagram, Chrissy Author. I'm even on TikTok, The Humble Heartbeat, and I have a YouTube channel, also The Humble Heartbeat.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
Yes, and I also am an author, speaker, ghostwriter, book coach, and I have my publishing company. We're actually ready to hit our 1-year anniversary. So
Yay! Congratulations.
thank you.
1 year. Ooh, come on in. I need a support system. Come on. I need a Ooh, Lord.
We have a powwow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna put that together. Hint, hint. I'm finding even more publishers. I just think we need to have that conversation live and maybe virtual, and maybe if we can in person, because I think there's a lot to be shared, a lot, and so sidebar, we're talking about writing, so in the literary industry, so we're staying in there, but a lot of people have jumped in. Christy says give me the name of the publishing company.
Humble Heartbeat Publishing.
Humble Heartbeat Publishing. She's coming up on a year anniversary. So she's relatively new in the industry, maybe not new to writing, but new in the industry, hanging out your shingle, working with other people and helping them publish their works. Dr. Nettles is doing the same thing, trying to encourage people,
Mhm.
writing, coaching, all that in literary services. Woo, me,
Woo.
17 years in the game. Okay. So 500 books, 350 authors, it's a whole lot of people. Whole lot of moving parts, whole lot of emotions, whole lot of, as I say, babies being birth. Because
Mhm.
it is that
Yep.
piece. So look, be on the lookout for that. I don't know if that's a 2026 thing, Lord be willing, or what that when that is. Maybe I'll put it in there for 2026, and we'll just call it literary services because some people don't want to be. Oh, I don't really publish. I just kind of help people write, and I'm kind of a book coach, and I just do anthologies, and we just kind of put books
Mhm.
together. And don't be fooling me, baby. You charging folks using the business. So let's have
Right.
a conversation.
Right.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay.
So we're talking tonight about the workshops that are going to be happening. And I'm sorry, Mr. Bob Magoo is not able to be with us, but he left us a video. So we're gonna try this. You know how I am. I tell people we're gonna jump on in, we're gonna see how it works and make it do what it do.
Yep.
And he's
That's
left
right.
us a video, and let's see what Streamline's gonna make us do. So we'll do that at the end. So the first one, I'll start off. So write
Mhm.
that book now is the one workshop that we're going to do, and that one's first. And writing that book down is really really key to even the other parts. I know some people say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, oh, I want to make a lot of money, oh, I want to be a New York Times bestseller, oh, I want to be an Amazon bestseller, oh, I want to be in all the bookstores. And baby, I got 17 years of phrases and things that I've heard. The 350 people that I have published are just a tip of the iceberg of the people of the conversations I've had over the 17 years. So there's a lot that, people have aspirations, goals, and I've always wanted to write, and they cry about it and they get happy and excited about it. But the key to it all is writing that
Keep
book
it
now,
all
unless you
right.
want to have a ghostwriter, and then you're going to pay for a ghostwriter. Come on.
Yes.
But if you were wanting to learn how to write and write that bestseller, we have to start with the basics. We have to put in the work. We got to do the grassroots of either writing it down in journals, typing it up on Google Drive or Microsoft Word if you have it. But we need to make sure that we're headed in the right direction
Mhm.
and we're going down that direction. Because if you procrastinate, you could be 5 years from now and you still haven't finished.
Right.
So write that book now. Is really encouraging you to write it now. Now I'm going to talk about the why. The how is what we're going to get into on Saturday,
Absolutely.
March
Yeah.
1st. But really, the why are just a few reasons. I'm just going to talk about three. One, you have something to say,
Mhm.
and two, you have something to say. You're either an expert or something you've always interested in, you've learned about it, you've been passionate about it, or you've been through hell and high water and you want to either help somebody else or even be therapy for yourself. Whether you know it or not, writing and journaling
It's
is a
very
mental
important.
health therapy. That
Mhm.
is one
Mhm.
one way getting their thoughts and feelings and drawing and writing on paper is a therapeutic mental health avenue, outlet, and mechanism that they use for you to get through your mental health struggles. And journaling is what helped me get through a horrible divorce. So I know I take, I have no problem acknowledging that because when you go through a traumatic situation, you need an outlet and it needs to be healthy and safe. And journaling was that. And secondly, you have something to say, and secondly, you have either someone you want to talk to help them through it, or you just might just be passionate about writing. Some people are just passionate about writing, and but some people really want to help other people with the
Mhm.
stories they tell. And then number three, you have a business, you have a ministry, you have a nonprofit, you have a business, and you want to create another product to go along with it. So
Mhm.
the therapists, the life coaches, they create journals and
Mhm.
planners and things
Mhm.
of their own. So, and then of course, let's just be honest, you're creating a product, but number four, I'll just go ahead and add that in, more products, more profits. So
Yeah.
you can charge for your hourly rate as a therapist. You can also charge for your products that you're creating. and the list goes on, and retreats and workshops and conferences and intensive and masterminds. I can keep going on and on and on.
Mhm.
So that's kind of generally your why. Hopefully, you find yourself in one of those four areas. If you have, and there's tons of more why people do it. Some people do it because they dared them to do it. Some people told them. Some people do it because they told them they would never do it. You
Yep.
can't write. You're not smart enough. You're not cute enough. You're not whatever. And so some people do it for other reasons. But in those four, those are the main driving forces because sometimes you can have roadblocks. Sometimes issues can arise, and you've got to be willing to have that inner energy, that inner passion, that inner drive. I can pull you along. Ooh, Dr. Nettles can get you there. Chrissy can encourage you and all of that, but it's going to be you that's going to help. That's going to actually cross that finish line.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
True.
Outlining, getting it down on paper,
Mhm.
kind of what next steps are, and then really moving forward with the writing process. Now, we're not going to be able to do everything in 45 minutes. So you can have a conversation with me later. I do have a calendar you can get on and have a consultation free of charge. I'd be happy for that. Talkwithroyston.com. If you listen to me anytime, you know I'm available. I'm out there. And happy to help you in that process. But you need to get jump started, and
Yeah.
iron sharpens iron. And so
Yeah.
you need to be in the room with
Agreed.
other authors.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna turn it over to Chrissy next, and then I want Dr. Nettles to really talk about kind of the backstory of even the why she did the book fest and writing expo, because that iron sharpening iron is really,
Mhm.
really, really, really key.
It's
I
really
know
good.
we're authors, and if I could just get alone with my pen and my journal. Oh, I love, honey, this messy office I got is my safe heaven. I creates in here. But baby, if I really want to move that thing, if I need
You
to
want
get
to you
to the
want to be
next
with other
level,
people.
I gotta be with other people.
You
I
gotta be.
do.
Mhm.
I gotta run it by somebody
Mhm.
else. Whether we agree or not, that's not
Yeah.
the point. That's iron. Iron sharpening iron. That's hot. That's fire. That's abrasive. That, it don't feel good. No, we don't necessarily. No, we don't agree. But it helps me think outside the box,
Mhm.
get it from somebody else's perspective, so that
Mhm.
I can be the best author and the best writer that I can be. So I can move forward in this literary writing space. Those goals and dreams and oh my God, I want to be can happen better and easier when you have somebody to work with. Okay.
Yeah.
Write that book now, Saturday, March 1st, Montgomery Book Fest and Writing Expo. Meet me there. I look forward to seeing you. Let's go. Chrissy, tell us about your workshop.
Well, I am doing a workshop. When you say these two words, most authors will run and hide in the corner
Uh-huh.
because this is the part of being an author that nobody likes, including the
Hate it, hate it,
author
hate it,
themselves.
hate it, hate it, hate it.
Yeah, so I am doing marketing, networking, promotion. And a lot of times the authors are like, look, I wrote my book. I don't know the rest. I feel like I'm selling myself out. It goes against what I believe. But here's the long and short of it. You have a book. People need to know you have a book, and you got to be able to sell the book.
Yeah.
And you have to do that through marketing and promotion. And really, I have to tell you, I struggled with this for a long time
Mhm.
because I was just like, look, I'm busy writing. That stuff is just not my jam. That's not my thing. And so I lined up with my business partner. We've known each other 20 years, and she is a powerhouse in this area. And so I was like, this is fantastic. But we're gonna talk about, and there's stuff that's so easy, it's crazy. We're gonna talk about like
Mhm.
why you need a digital business card because we are in the digital age. People are like, what is this
You
paper
see her
thing you're
stomp her
handing me?
feet? Did you see her stomp her feet? Did you see her?
She's like, I'm sitting in for that part.
Did you see her stomp her feet? Oh my God. She turned into a 4-year-old Chrissy right then. Like,
I tell you, it is a game changer when you're in the author world and you go to these things. I handed out paper business cards and people were like, well, what are these? And I was like, these are things that us dinosaurs actually used before the digital age come in. Like, this is called a paper business card. And they're just like, Okay. But it's funny because if you think about it, you like put the paper cards to the side, whatever, but a digital business card, that's a game changer. And so we're gonna tell you who you can set it up with for free. You don't have to pay to set it up. Free is the magic word, and why you need to use it. And then we'll tell you what it did for us when we were at one of the events. And we're gonna go over. So I recently got into flip books. Do you remember like the old Sears catalogs you used to have that you'd like? So now I have learned on a program how to create a flip book that you can publish as a digital flip book that people can just click right in that book and you just take them right where you want them to buy things from. So again, digital is a game changer. And we're going to talk about an author sheet, what you need on your author sheet and why you actually need an author sheet. When people are asking you to submit things, you need to send an author sheet. And definitely going to go over why you need professional headshots.
Oh, yeah.
And professional photographs.
Oh,
This is where a lot of authors just take a break out of the seminar and just like, this is my bathroom break. But it's so important, right? They're just like, I'm like, no, that's not a professional photo. Like, when it's a professional photo and why it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference when you submit it to people. And you want to be taken seriously. So you need to have great photos. And really, I'm going to talk about promotion-wise, like how you can leverage your book to get other doors to open for you. This was big for me. I am like a living example of how this happened from a book I wrote. It took me 8 years to write my first book. I published it way back when, 2019. Then it kind of stalled when the world shut down. And then just one opportunity came and I got in that opportunity. And then it's just like, boom, the doors just opened. We have a script for it. We're working on bringing it to television and trying to do all of that stuff. But it's all that and how you can leverage that book, because the book is the doorknob that God is going to use to open the door. The book is not like you're going, I'm on the train. No, it's just a little part of the train. So we're going to talk about that and why you need that. And because authors don't like it, then, we have some done for you services as well, which I'm sure all of you offer. We'll talk about why that's important to find people to do that and how you need to, as an author, and I still struggle with this, how you need to turn some things over to other people to complete for yourself.
Yeah.
Because, writing is my game. Marketing, I can dip my toes and stuff in, and I know from experience what does. But when it comes to design, sometimes you just got to turn that over to some other people. So you can do your own thing and they can do their thing because they're highly gifted in what they do. And talking about why it's collaboration over competition and why that is so important. But there's room enough for everybody to succeed in the writing world. Every day, billions of books are being done. There's room enough for everybody.
Absolutely.
And why stay away from competition? Because you'll derail yourself faster than anything else will.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go over that. I'm going to have my business partner set in. She's also an accountability coach. So she's going to go over why it's important to have accountability when you're writing, which went into what you were talking about. I'm going to finish it someday. Well, someday is not on the calendar. It's Monday through Friday with an actual date.
Come on, tell them, Chris.
That's what I tell my people. Someday, one day, every day, that day, this day. Those don't actually exist on a calendar. It's Monday through Friday.
I love it.
Damn! Just come on, hit her, right?
I'm double teamed.
Right? Like, I get it. She had to use this stuff on me. Like, I'm just like, I'm gonna get it there. I'm gonna get it there. Because for the longest time, under heavy pressure, I produce really great works, but I don't always want to be under heavy pressure. So I'm trying to break out that mold, and the accountability coach will get you out of that mold. But yeah, we're going to talk about that stuff and just different unique ways you can promote yourself. So
that's good.
You're not lost in the fray of everybody else, especially if you're coming out of the self-publishing world. Self-publishing, when it got a really bad rap there for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah.
People didn't understand the importance of editing. Yeah. Why you need to pay to have your book edited.
Or formatting too. The layout and formatting.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And why you shouldn't be your own editor. I'm going to give you a tip why you shouldn't be your own editor. I'm on a sidebar here, but
no, that's it.
Listen, because
you're still in the same vein.
When you are the author, You
Yeah.
know what it's supposed to say,
You know
right?
what it's supposed to say.
Yes.
You're like, it says that. I know it says it's on page 62, line whatever,
Come
paragraph,
on, tell 'em,
whatever.
girl.
And they're looking at you going, you need to like clean your glasses because
Because
that's
it's
not in there.
not
But
there.
I wrote it and I know it's there. And guess what? It wasn't there. And so I was like, oh, my bad. And so you should not be your own editor because what you think it may say, it really doesn't
Yeah.
sometimes
It
say.
said it.
You need to do that. And
Definitely.
that goes into marketing promotion because you need to have a really good edited book for it to be marketable and for other people to pick it up on the promotion because that's what you want. You want to get to a place where other people will help you promote your own stuff. And
Absolutely.
so I'm going to just put a little sidebar in the conversation that we're doing about that and why that is so important. And examples, I have, as you, I've had clients that are like, this, this is a great thing. And I'm like, we're back to square one in editing. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I hate
it's,
that. I hate that. I had somebody say that one time. Okay, this has already been edited. And I said, are you sure? I mean, let me at least do a proofread. Oh no. I said, okay, I'm putting in this contract. Every mistake I find is $10.
mhm,
And baby, by the time we finish, he was like, I guess it has. I said, I guess it hadn't, but here's the invoice. Sorry.
right.
Oh,
Here
that,
you
I
go.
mean,
I'm going to put an addition on my house now. You need a content editor. You need a
yes,
content editor,
yes,
not just a grammar editor, but a content editor. And
yes, yes.
it's important. But yeah, when you write it, you think it's the best thing ever. It's the best thing to come out since sliced bread. And
And it
people are just
is.
like, I don't know what you read, but it needs a lot of work. And I didn't handle that well when my own editors told me that. And so I think the best way you teach people is to be the example of what you're
Yeah,
talking
Yeah.
about.
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
can be wide open with that because my editors will tell you anytime, like, this is what they kept telling me. It's really good. It would
but
be a great coffee table book. Like, who wants to hear their book is a good coffee table book, right? And I said, well, what do you mean by really good? They're like, as in needs some more work because we need you to pull out the greatness. Like, we're looking for like the Oprah list. Not that it's going to go on the Oprah list, but that's what you need to strive towards. And I was
right,
just like, that's kind of rude. But then I was like, well, I told you guys to be very honest. So you got to be
honest,
careful what you
yeah,
ask for, right? But yeah, so you don't want to hear that as an author, but you need to hear that as an author. Because here's my thing: make sure if I've hired you to work with me, that you help me put out the best possible version
yeah,
of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I want to present. You can write 100 books and have one bad one, and the one bad one is what people are going to
oh
talk
my
about.
God,
They're going
yeah,
to forget the other 99, no matter what you're on, how many shows you've done. They remember that one you did. So always work to be the best. And it goes into promotion. Like, you are your promoting machine and
yeah,
ways you need to conduct yourself. So we're going to go through all of that because people forget that there's certain, you have to conduct yourself in certain manners when you're an author or even a coach or a speaker. You can't just fly off the nilly like you
right,
normally would. So we're
yeah.
going to cover all that in our time that we have. We're going to hit
Woo!
it all. We
You
may go fast like a speeding typewriter, but we're going to hit it all.
Yeah, and I think that part, maybe we'll have to add that to our list for next year, Dr. Nettles, because that behavior thing is really, ooh, that's rough because, and I realize that I'm what they call me, I'm an ambivert. That means I'm an extrovert with introvert tendencies. So
Tendencies.
I can go by myself and be quiet, but then I can run off the mouth as I do all the time. And so I'm a kind of an ambivert. But the thing about it is, when it's time to move a book, I'm the ultimate extrovert. I'm like a talking head. Hi, hello, how you doing? Hey, woo, look at you. Just whatever I can think of to come on my head to draw your attention to my table, to my booth, to my
Right.
book, whatever that takes. I turns it on. Then later, I'm exhausted. I'm probably hoarse. But that whole behavior piece is really, really key because I've seen some beautiful branding. I've seen some lovely logos. I've seen some wonderful books. I don't care if they were self-published, but it was the author that was stopping it from getting to the next level and where it needed to go. And
Yeah,
I
your branding. I mean, your branding starts with you.
yes,
You're the
exactly.
biggest part of your branding. And a little tip to everyone: in the computer world, there is no such thing as delete.
Yeah.
yeah.
it doesn't go, you may delete it from the screen, but it doesn't actually get deleted.
doesn't
And
go
so
away.
No.
people can find all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's why people,
Yes.
they forget about that. You're going, and the more you're doing and the more traction you're getting yourself and the more you're seeing, the more people will dig up all the stuff that you've ever
Yeah.
done in your life and start to present that. And you have to know that that's just part of the journey and part of the life and
Yeah.
part of the author world that you're going to have. People
Yeah.
are going to do that. And so I just tell people, you got to think about everything you're doing before you actually do it. Like before
Yeah.
you do it, you need to think 20 steps ahead of here's what could happen, what may
Yeah.
happen, and how I'm going to conduct myself. Because
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Fantastic books, but man, I was so turned off by the authors when they were out. Like I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and also when you meet them at events, they're not very welcoming. And I'm gonna tell you, I find the same type of I'm not gonna use that word. The same type of behavior, I'll just say this, when I go in bookstores.
Oh yeah.
And and then I clam up and I go, do you know how many books, I want to like, do you know how many books I've written? Do you know how many people I represent? Do you know that I'm a whole network? I want to go into my feelings, but I'm not getting ready to go off because it's like, this woman came in and blah 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 blah. And they found me on social media and they're like, she's supposed to be. So I have to walk out and they say, breathe really hard and count to 20. But it does. I mean, it does make a difference.
It
I mean,
does.
it
And
absolutely does.
like you may be the next trending video on TikTok if you have that, because
Yes.
everybody's filming everything. And they'll be like, oh, look at this lady going off over here. I'm gonna film her.
Right.
And then all people are like, you should probably go on TikTok because you're on there. And you're like, what?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're thinking, what have I posted, right? What have I
Yeah,
posted to TikTok?
no, who
And
got
joke
me?
be on you because
Yeah, it
someone
will.
filmed you. So yeah, I tell people you always gotta just in your surroundings, you always have to know where you are, and it's just the age we live in. Everyone films everything.
Yeah.
And you have to conduct yourself. There's a lot of times where I tell people sometimes I feel like my tongue will bleed because it's so hard just to stop the words from coming and get that disconnect from my brain.
Yeah.
They will. I mean, you'll be trending for all the
Yeah,
wrong reasons.
and I think the things that you're going to talk about are vitally important, but the things that are not the one sheet or not the speaker sheet or not the author sheet are play even as much of importance. Yes, the photography needs to be, and y'all know I do photo shoots 2 or 3 times a year, the whole 9
Yeah.
yards. But after that's done, it's still what came out of her? Not just the words, but her spirit. What did it make me feel? What did it make me? Did it attract me or did it repel me?
Right.
Did it draw me in to even want what she's got or
Mhm.
no? I mean, so it does make a difference. I can't wait till Saturday. I hope I
Can't
am
wait.
able to slide and go in there because I want to stay. I'll be like, Brian, I won't be back for.
Right.
We'll
Y'all
see
look
here
They're
today,
having
but I'll
a
be
good
back.
time.
Yeah, I'm looking
Kindred
forward. I want to
spirit.
see their reactions to it too, as well. I'm looking forward to that. Woo!
They'll be like,
They I know they want to run, but this is a part of it. This is a part of that process of
Right.
what that actually is and does. And I want to be with you when I grow up, and I was like, well, hold on. There's a whole lot of scrapes, and I'm sorry. Did I show you that scar I had? And
right.
and that one yeah, and that other one, they stomped my toe and they kicked my knee. Did you see that one? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, people want the glory without ever going
Oh
through
my
the
God.
story. Like
Oh
you
my
don't know
God.
what it took for people to get there and what they
Exactly.
sacrificed.
And do you know, so do you get up early in dark? Do you go to bed late? Do you work through lunch? What do you do? I mean, are you really
Right.
wanting to? You're not with your kids 24 hours. You're not.
No.
You're not at your job 24 hours. You're not. So do you really want to finish that book or not? You figure out a way to get it done. You'll figure out a way,
Ooh,
get
y'all
it marketed
stepping
in
on
the
some toes.
ouch, pull them back, pull them back. Yeah. I mean, and then, but then the problem is people get mad and angry because they haven't done it. And Dr. Nettles, no, we've been in conferences, people stand up and crying, big tears, just, I'm like, well, what do you want to do? You gonna pay the thousands of dollars it takes to get a ghostwriter? Or you gonna write it? I mean,
Right.
you make time for whatever else you want. So do you
And
want it? No,
ghostwriting
you
is
don't really.
expensive. There's no way
Yeah,
to cut
it
that
is. It's not
cost.
cheap.
Ghostwriting is
It's not. It's not cheap. And I'm in the middle of like two or three right now, and I'm like, I can't take no more because I want to write my own stuff. And
That's it.
so it's a lot.
You gotta have time for your own. You gotta tell people you gotta disconnect from the emotional part that's holding you back when because when you're writing, and depending on what you're writing, there's a lot of emotions that stir up, and it will
Absolutely.
stop. It's like we talked about before we come on, the emotional recoil. And when people get in this where they're reliving all of this as they're writing it, that's when the bucks it'll either stop there or it'll take itself to the
Yeah.
ATM and be dispersed out, because you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. That's what I
Yeah.
tell people. Either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. And I
Yeah.
can usually tell in the first appointment we have if you're actually going to finish the book or not.
Uh-huh.
You good. 'Cause sometimes they fool me. I'm gonna be honest with you. They say the words and I'm like, okay, and no. And I'm
Here's a
like,
tip.
what I have to
I
do.
always ask them their why. Like, why are you writing this book?
She does.
I
And this
do.
is-
I ask that.
yeah.
Dr. Nettles will tell you, I asked that too. I asked all of them questions and why. I even, I don't have any of my publishing packages posted, so you
Right.
don't know what it is. I'm listening for your heart first.
Yep.
After 17 years in this game, baby, I've written 140 books. Boo. If I'm going to take my time to work with you, I want to know that where I am. I want to know,
Right.
are you all in, or are you just trying it out and see what it would do, or you gonna call
Yeah.
5 more publishers tomorrow and figure it out and kind of him on around. But
Yep.
I wrote it down. The emotional recoil.
Emotional recoil. Yep.
Because it's once they get in it, and I've got an author right now. I could call her name, but she's like, I can't do it because it takes her down a road.
Mm-hmm.
She remembers it, she sees it, she feels it,
Yeah.
the abuse, she smells it, everything, and it stops her. And I'm like, baby, you can't help anybody else until we get past that.
Yeah, your mind, when you're caught in the recoil, your mind doesn't know that you're not there. It just knows what it's going through and what you're pushing out. And so your mind dictates to your body what it's going to do. And so when you're writing about all these experiences that you have that is traumatic, you're pulling all that out, and also you're pushing on the traumatic bonds that we have. We bond with our trauma that follows us through life until we break those bonds of the trauma. And that's where people get caught. Like, I tell them, what is your why? I want to know your why. And if they tell me, I want to make a lot of money,
Oh, I run.
you're not going to do it.
No.
Here's the
Now,
thing.
that is. I don't want to. Normally, I don't want to work.
Why?
Let's make some money, do you? Whoa. And people are shocked. Then I'm like, no.
It's like, no.
No.
But when your why is tied to a purpose,
yes,
my purpose is I want to help. When you're stuck, that purpose is going to come to the forefront, and you're going to want to finish the book because you realize there are other people waiting on you to get that book done. They are caught where they are because they need your book. Yeah. Like, the book is going to do that.
And I even ask, okay, if you knew a teenage girl was getting ready to open the door, get in the car, or go with this person that's similar to the one you broke free from, when you want to help her, when you want to stop her, when you want to put up the red flag, yeah, but so the barricade stops right there. So yeah, I get it, and that's a strong thing, and I get that. But I said we can get on. I'll help you write it out. We'll fight through it. We just got this one little section, and we can roll on, steamroll. But and I understand it. But I'm ready when you ready. Maybe I'm getting older, so I don't know. When you ready, come on. But
you're ready when you pick an actual date on the calendar.
Yeah, that's right. What did you say? One day is not on there.
Right.
One day. I love that.
Some days, this day, those aren't actually on the calendar. It's Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. So as y'all can tell, if you get near the Montgomery Book Fest, get your seatbelt on, tightened, and ready to rock and roll, and make sure you got your steel toe shoes on, because we're gonna be stomping on them. Hello. And
hello.
But if you really want to, if you desire this, if you want this, you want people to tell you the truth. You really do. You want them to be as honest with you as possible. But even more importantly, you want to make educated decisions. I'm not talking about degrees. I'm not talking about whether you got doctorate or not. I'm talking about informed, knowledgeable,
Mhm.
educated about the process decisions. And then we can move forward intelligently. It has nothing to do with your IQ. I'm talking
Mhm.
about you get the intelligence of how this works so that you can make the decision. Am I in? Am I out?
Yeah.
Do I want it? I don't. Am
Mhm.
I willing to go for it? Because that purpose Chrissy talked about is driving me. It's keeping me up at night. It's getting me up early in the morning. I'm not doing my
Yeah.
normal lunch hours. I'm eating through lunch and writing through lunch. And it's, oh God, I got to get this thing off of me
Mhm.
or, before I can move forward. So thank you so much, Miss Chrissy Lena. Lord have mercy. So glad to have you. So glad
Glad to
to
be
see you.
Absolutely.
here.
I can't wait to hug you on Saturday. Yeah.
I know.
We're huggers.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
am
all right.
too.
Oh, okay, good. All right, all right. Dr. Nettles, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I want you to really kind of give the backstory of. I know we've talked a lot about a whole lot of things. I hope y'all
Right.
taking notes. Ooh. Hi, hi, Rich. How you doing? Thank you. But we've talked about a lot of things. But I really want you to kind of go back to the backstory of why you're even hosting it, because Dr. Nettles does a lot of work for this event. It's not just it's down in her. So I'll shut up and let you talk.
Well, I think this avalanche of information and love that has just poured out of the two of you is why I do it. Is why I even wanted it. When I started, my first book was published in 2017, I believe, but I had been working on that book for a couple of years and I had been looking for someone to help me, some guidance, some information. I had gone to a couple of conferences, and you're absolutely right. I remember um, the founder of that conference saying, if you're self publishing, you're not really interested in writing. And I thought,
Mhm.
yes, I am. I have a whole book. And I needed some guidance. I needed some help. And so I went through a process. I even um, had a different publisher before Julia was my publisher. But I learned from that experience that I didn't want anybody else to have to go through that again. I
Mhm.
didn't want anybody else who had a story, who believed in their story, and didn't want it wasn't about hand holding. It's about someone sharing the walk with you. And there were so few opportunities that I could find
Mhm.
in my communities that where someone would want to walk with me along the way. And so I decided then I would not allow anyone else that I could, if I could help it, to feel like they had no information that made sense. They had nobody that they could say, if you help me understand this piece of it, then I can walk further. And a lot of people I talk to would say, oh, just research it. It's like, I don't want to pick your brain for all the information. I just need a direction. I just need a target. Help me see that. And so that's how the book fest was birthed. Just a desire for support for fellow
Mhm.
authors. And, as an educator, we spend a lot of time teaching our students and reteaching our students, and we don't send them to the vast world wide web. We target them so that once they get to the world wide web, then they can expand their
Mhm.
offerings and expand their information. And I think that's so important. You guys are not pouring every single detail into these authors, but you're giving them enough to know, okay, I need to think differently, I need to
Mhm.
frame differently, I need to move differently, I need to seek differently. And that's so important in this writing game. I can honestly say during the first years of this process, I'd never felt so lonely, just
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
And so the Montgomery Book Fest and Writing Expo is about helping folks not feel so lonely and isolated on their journey to things that they believe God has poured into them. So that's my why.
It's a great one.
It's a great why. It's a great why. And the sacrifice you make of your time, money, and effort. I don't care what the registration fee. The host is always going to be chipping in their own money. I don't care. I've done events pretty much all my life since I was a teenager, so I know there's a sacrifice of something: time, money,
Mhm.
effort, energy, connections, emails. And did I mention time? Oh, okay. I'll say it one more time. Time.
Time.
Time and effort. But thank you first of all for all that you do for authors and bringing them together and giving them an opportunity. Now, there are never any sales guarantees. There's never
Right.
any. I can't guarantee you. All I know is the last 3 years, we're into year four. There have been people who have come through that door and bought books every
Yeah.
year. So that's all I know. I can't tell you how many. We can tell you how many came that year, first year, second year, third year, and then now we're in the fourth year, but we haven't had one, thank God, that nobody showed.
Right.
So it's been a beautiful situation. Come out, come out, come out. It is free to get in. So really, that barrier has been eliminated for me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they charge it. No, we're not. Now, if you
No.
buy a book, that's gonna cost you. But to actually come in, get the information you need to make the decisions you need to make, ask the questions, not in only of us, but there's going to be at least 18 other authors or 15 to 16
We're up
other
to
authors.
20.
We're up to 20. Okay.
Yeah.
20 authors, yay, all together that you can ask their opinion and which way, because everybody has a different direction that they came in to write their book. Everybody's
Yeah.
got their own story, not just their
Mhm.
book story, but their journey to literary and publishing story. So be sure and reach out, come visit, do what you need to do, and really get there. It's not that long. It's not, we're not trying to keep you 12 hours. There's four
Right.
hours. Come in and then move along. But it's well worth it. It definitely is well worth it to be a part of. And believe you me,
Yeah.
I'm coming from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Yay! 6.5 hours. So it's worth it for me. Just a reminder,
So,
this is the Black Children's Book Week of February 23rd. It ends on March 1st. So
mhm.
if you know of an author, children's book author, support them and all that they do. Again, Saturday. I'm sorry, Dr. Nels, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was gonna wait until you finished making the rest of the announcements.
Okay. I'm church announcements. So the Black Children's Book Week is this week. March is, so if you're in the children's market, or especially you got to get the teachers and everything before the school ends so that you can jump in for the next school year. There's just all kinds of things going on. March is Women's History Month. So if you're a female author, that's a great time. If you've written a book about women, that's a great time to jump on in. So I always want you to be able to jump in and make it happen. We'll also be the next weekend at the Bridge Crossing Jubilee. It's 60th anniversary in Selma,
It's
Alabama. So meet us there. I don't know where our booth is and what our booth number is, but come on, walk the trail
walk
and
the trail.
come find us on March 8th. And then March 13th and through the 15th, I'll be in Greenville, South Carolina at the Great Homeschool Convention in Greenville, South Carolina. Looking forward to that. I've never been there, so me and my children's books is heading that way. So, anything else before I run this video?
Yes. Just wanted to remind you, I'm glad you said that it was free admission. It's free admission to the event, and the sessions are free also. A lot of times you get to an event and you think all is well, but then they want to charge you to hear the material. The sessions are free, admission is free. And this year we have gift certificates for teachers. So, and that's while supplies last and with your ID. So come on and get your gift certificate for your book and get your information about writing, publishing, promoting. And Julie, you talked about where you're going. I'm excited about that because on March 29th, I'll be in Pensacola. Books by the Bay.
Come on,
I'm
Books by the
excited
Bay.
about that.
Okay, I have to know when that is because that's where I'm currently at in Pensacola. So I can
Okay. So
stop
I
over.
will give you that info.
Yes.
And I don't know if they finished taking vendors or not, but we'll get right on it.
Make
Sweet.
it happen. Make it do what it do.
Yes.
Yay! Now this is what this is all about: is sharing information. Now y'all know I'm
Exactly.
big on that. I'm big
Yeah.
on
Absolutely.
I'm not really trying because I didn't want it hidden from me. So I asked the questions and got some answers. So I definitely want to share it. And I tell people all the time, and people ask, how do you have other publishers? I said, baby, it's 9 billion. I said billion. I didn't say million. I said 9 billion people on the planet. I'm not publishing 9 billion books. No love. No, no love. No. We need help in this industry. And we're all here to make sure that the literary market continues, thrives, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so Mr. Bob Magoo was not able to be with us this evening. I am going to try to do something that I've never done, and that is to show a video. So I don't know what that's going to do to us, but we're going to do it and make it. I tested it out earlier. So let me just see what it does. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hello there. I'm author Bob Magoo of Tales by Bob. You can find me at talesbybob.com, where you can see all the things I do, from podcasting to shirts to my book series. You know, being an author seems like that's kind of important. I write a series of books about a redneck wizard in South Alabama. I've been doing all this for, oh gosh, 12 years now, I suppose, and been seriously self-publishing since 2021. And I recently signed a book deal with Falstaff Books to publish a horror novel of mine this year. My class is going to be about diversifying your revenue streams as an author. It's really hard to get to be doing this full time for a living. I'm not there yet, but every day I'm getting a little bit closer. And my strategy has always been, if I can get enough little streams of income coming in, it'll eventually all flow together to a mighty river that allows me to quit my day job. Any day now. Any day now. So I'm going to talk about ways that you can use your existing IP to kind of come up with new products. Be talking about ways to use your expertise, your interest, your hobbies, and find ways that complement what you do as an author. Uh, blend it all together, shake it all up, add a few terrible puns, maybe an occasional dad joke, and we will have a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have plenty of time for questions. Um, and that's me. That's me, and that's what I'm going to do. So I hope that sounds intriguing to you. It's certainly been intriguing to me since it's my life and a lot of what I do. So look forward to seeing you this upcoming Saturday. Cheers.
Oh, it works! Yay! I love it when a plan comes together. Yay! Okay, now I know it works. Okay, here we go. Here we go. March 1st, Montgomery Book Fest and Writing Expo. Thank you so much for being my guest this evening. I hope this has been enlightening and really helpful for others and for people coming on. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let me put this up. Okay, so here is Mr. Bob Magoo's website. So I want to put that up really quick. There you go. Talesbybob.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be fun. And a whole lot of it's gonna be fun. I can just tell. It's gonna be an exciting time. But creating revenue with your book, I know you think my book is enough, right? What else I gotta do? What else I gotta write? Baby, listen, more profits, more products, more profits. That's my mantra. That's my so come out Saturday, March 1st, at the Armory in Montgomery, Alabama, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, I'll be on a different time zone. I'll be freaking out every which way but loose, but I'll be probably early rather than late. But anyway, this has been fun. This has been exciting. I hope that it's been encouraging to
It's been great.
who is interested in writing and all that good stuff. And so you all be blessed. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, Ms. Chrissy Leonard, I'm sorry, and Dr. Vernette Nettles. Super excited. We're looking forward to Saturday, March 1st. Be there.
Be there.
Be there. Come see us.
Be there. Good night. You all be blessed. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.